jessercohen, and I'm here with you again today with another video. Today we're going to be discussing 3 trap openings. I'd like to give a disclaimer for this, first and foremost, that trap openings are typically not good overall. They're not the kind of opening that you're going to want to take if you're going to play in a serious tournament. However, in a blitz situation, especially on one of the many websites that there are to play on, I'm on chess.com right now, you can use them and definitely net yourself a lot of wins. So let's just dive right into it, yeah? So the first one that I want to show you guys is called the fishing pole, which is made by Brian Wall right here in Colorado, and it goes something like this: e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop e5, standard Ruy Lopez, knight f6. This is the Berlin defense. This has been super popular ever since Kramnik drew all those games against Garry Kasparov in the World Championship, I think in 2000. Castle's kingside is the move here, and now here is the fishing pole move, knight g4. Okay? And this move, you can't trust the bar here. In fact, I'm just going to turn off the bar. Don't even look at the bar. This move breaks opening principle right away. We're moving the same piece twice, and it can just be kicked. And this is exactly what most players do. Get out of here. But here's where the fishing pole comes in. h5. Crucial move. And a lot of players here are like, well, I can just take a knight for here. I could take a knight here with a pawn. Why shouldn't I? And they do. We capture back. Now take a look for a second. What has black just achieved by doing this? With the h-pawn gone, the rook reigns down the open h-file. The pawn is threatening the knight. What is white supposed to do? A lot of players here would simply see the threat, look at their options. What are their options? Knight e1, moving to the back row. Knight h2, maybe helping the king out. This seems like it's probably the most logical. With the knight on f3 now gone, h4 is available. Queen h4. This is the main idea behind the fishing pole. The rook and the queen battery and team up for some instant checkmate ideas right around white's king. And here, white is in serious trouble. There's basically like 2 ways that white can try to play this, and it all goes very badly. One way is to play pawn to f3 or f4. The idea behind this move is go ahead and take my knight. I'm going to make a run for it. But we don't let white make a run for it. In this position, we seal the deal. Pawn g3. Remember, everybody, when you want to make good checkmates, it's 2 parts. It's 1 part attacking, it's another part trapping. You've got to be thinking about both parts. If you just trap, you're going to end up stalemating way often. If you just attack, you're just going to chase around the king over and over again and never quite land that checkmate. It's got to be both. This is intended to cut that king off from being able to run away, and now that is another checkmate threat. And it's basically just game over at this point. There's really not much that he can do or she can do about this incoming threat. The other thing that white can try to do is rook e1. Trying to leave an open square for this white king to run. But this doesn't really help that much. Check this out. Queen takes h2 check. King has to run. And now what they're hoping for is queen h1 check here, and queen takes g2. And yeah, this doesn't look so bad. But the real easy finish on this is knight d4. Taking away that running square, threatening queen to h1 mate. The last little gasp of life for white in this position is f3, trying desperately to create some sort of escape square, but again, we clamp down on that, and black's pieces work really well alongside white's g2 pawn to just seal this king's tomb on the back row. Queen h1 is coming next move. It's unstoppable checkmate. So yeah, the fishing pole again, it comes right out of the Ruy Lopez, okay? Easy to remember. Knight comes out attacking the pawn, we defend. The bishop comes out hitting the knight, key Ruy Lopez move. We bring out our knight, they castle, and knight g4. That's the key move in the fishing pole. Use this, rip open someone's king, and definitely get yourself some wins there. The next one I'm going to show you doesn't really have a name, but I still have to give credit where credit's due. Local Life Master Brian Wall showed me this as well. This is just a cute little trick that I've used in the Carokhan, against the Carokhan, several times, especially in Blitz, and it can win some really, really quick games. So e4, c6, Carokhan. For those who don't know, the Carokhan is a total counterattacking opening. The whole idea behind pawn c6 is that black wants to play pawn to d5 later and challenge white's center. Black could do that right away, but this is called the Scandinavian. White just takes it, and now black's queen usually ends up coming out. It gets chased around. Some people don't like this happening, so they play the Carokhan. We, of course, take that big full center. Oh, actually, so sorry. Just kidding. That is main line. Here's the trap. Knight f3. Normal developing move. d5, e5. And now the whole idea in the Carokhan, the number one reason they play it, is that they want to get this bishop outside the pawn chain before it locks closed. 99% of the time, black is going to instantly pin this knight. It is so logical. d4 now. e6. Now here's a key move, c3. This is just a patient little move. It's not terrible, actually. It just is a nice, solid little move here. And the move that black is going to play 90% of the time in this position is c5. Challenging the center and allowing that knight to come into c6. And now we take it. And this seems like a bad move because we're just helping black develop the bishop and take back the pawn. But again, this is where that trap is. Here, this is the blunder. The very, very natural recapture. And I'm telling you, you play this in Blitz, and I'm telling you, people fall for this all the time. Masters fall for this all the time. Can you see white's winning move here? Remember, we were talking about tactics in my video yesterday, and one of the number one clues in any position that there's a tactic are pieces that are not protected. In this position, this bishop and this bishop are not protected. Maybe we can win one of them. Checks, captures, and threats, mostly checks. We can play queen to a4. Boom. Tax the bishop not protected, tax the king. There is no way that black can get out of check, which is going to save the bishop. They're going to do something like knight c6, and we're going to pick off that bishop. By the way, another little side variation that you might enjoy is I have had some masters realize as soon as I take this pawn, oh no, if I take that, I'm going to end up losing my bishop. So they'll play knight to d7, developing a piece and blocking that diagonal. Now they want to play that bishop takes here. So I'll play bishop to e3, and I set a second trap for them, which has been walked on to in many occasions. That's knight takes e5. This is an intermediate level mistake because it seems like black can just take the pawn safely, because if white is interested in taking that knight back, we're going to lose our queen because that nasty, nasty pin, right? But here, we play queen a4 check again. This move is going to come up over and over again, this variation. Why? Well, not just because we love checks, but we are gaining time and unpinning that knight. See, we want to take that free knight. It's totally unprotected. We just don't want to lose our queen. This gets our queen to a safe square and puts black's king in danger, which means that black has to spend a moment getting the king out of danger. And here's the problem. It seems like this knight can save itself, block the check, but then the knight lets go of that bishop again, and we take it anyway. And any other move here, for example, queen to d7. What do you play here? Do you play queen takes queen check? Hoping for king takes so we can take that knight for free? No, they'll take back with the knight and save everything. Here, we've got to find another critical move. Bishop b5. Pinning the queen to the king. In this position, black can mess around for a second if they want to, but at the end of the day, they're eventually going to have to block that if they want to not lose the queen. And then, hey, we take that bishop. I think the only other variation that they can possibly do is like, king e7. But then knight takes knight. Either way, black's going to lose a piece. It's all bad. So again, there's no real specific opening for this, but you can win a lot of blitz games using this little trick. And even like if they catch it and totally stop it, at worst you get a pretty reasonable position. What was the last trap I was going to show you guys today? Oh yeah. So for those who have not seen Debatably, the best chess movie ever made, Searching for Bobby Fischer, there is a scene in that movie where Josh comes out of his first round game and his dad thinks it's a quick victory, only to discover that Josh has lost. And the next scene is Josh sitting out in the rain with his dad. It's just pouring, and the dad's like, 7 moves? How did you lose in 7 moves? And it never actually tells you. It never tells you. Well, have no fear. I know exactly how it happened. By the way, not guessing. This is for real. Pawn e4, pawn e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, Italian. Okay? Now the main moves here for black are just keep developing the natural squares. Bishop c5, knight f6. But we're going to play knight to d4. Again, please keep in mind, these are trap openings. At best, I recommend them for blitz play, or if you've got some friend that was the best chess player and in science class in 5th grade and wants to challenge you and you want to, show him some magic, then go for it. This move just blatantly breaks opening principle, right? This move moves the same piece twice, and it just seems to hang this pawn. And white just takes it quickly. Yeah! I mean, why not? It's a free pawn. Not to mention, afterwards, the bishop on c4 and the knight on e5 are making a double attack on f7, threatening at least bishop takes f7 check, or knight takes f7, which will fork the queen and the rook. But here, black breaks opening principle again. Queen to g5, attacking the unprotected knight on e5 and the unprotected pawn on g2. Well, white figures, I should save the knight, that's more important, and I might as well take on f7, my bishop guards it, and I get a double attack on black's queen and black's rook. But black plays queen takes g2. Now black threatens to take this rook, which is totally unprotected. So white has a very reasonable thought here of, well, your rook is totally trapped. My knight is going to take that, and you really can't do anything about it. But I can totally save my rook by sliding it closer to my king. Might as well. Queen takes e4 check. What are white's options now? We can't take it. We can't run our king anywhere. The only options are queen block and bishop block. Nobody wants to play queen block. We're just going to lose our queen for free to the knight, right? So instead, bishop block. You might be tempted in this position to play knight takes c2 check. The queen guards the knight attacks the king and the rook at the same time. And actually, the only way that this is not checkmate is for white to sacrifice the queen. And we win the queen, and we're definitely winning this game. But there's a much better move. A move that finishes the game in 7 moves. Checks, captures, and threats, but mostly checks, right? Do you see them all? Take a look at this king. This is what we call a smothered king. Totally surrounded by his own pieces. Knight f3, checkmate. Remember, the bishop can't take the knight. It's being pinned to the king. The computer won't even let me. It'll just take the king. It's against the rules. The knight's putting the king in check. Can't be taken, can't be blocked. Nowhere to run because we're totally smothered by our own pieces. And that's checkmate. So, again, 3 opening traps. The fishing pole, straight out of the Ruy Lopez, and we get this powerful battery that's going to checkmate. And don't forget to slam that door shut with G3. We also have that Carokhan trap with the knight F3. With a double attack on the king and the loose bishop. And finally, we have this Italian trap, the Blackburn Shilling Gambit, offering a free pawn. And then bringing out that queen early for the double attack. And then either winning a queen or checkmating this poor white king. Again, I'll say it a third time. Trap openings are meant for fun or, for speed chess. But if you're actually going to go out there and play a serious tournament game, I probably would not recommend using this. Yeah. So anyway, another short video today. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Yeah. With that being said, again, National Master Jesse Cohen, and see you next time. Bye!